All right. So this might still be bugged if I just try and do a single group. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to show all the groups and we'll fix this. This should show all 4 groups for me. Yeah, so the group you're looking for here is Group D, all right, where Mihai has 3 wins and Sitaux has 2. So that's the total of, that's the entirety of Platinum right there. But both Mihai and Sitaux had a very strong start here. You got Mihai. He's playing as the Wu. And Mihai will be looking to continue his good form. And I felt like, at least on one of those games he played, he was very well prepared with the transport map. And that's exactly what we have here for game number 1. A map is called Seychelles. It was part of a map contest for the LY Cup a year ago, within the last year. I think the initial version of this was much bigger. We've made it a size 2 map. We've made a couple tweaks here or there, but yeah, it's a really fun map. And yeah, I'll add the flags. People are asking for the flags. But it's a mix of water and land, and it's a map where usually there's not one way to play it. That's what I like for my maps. There are some maps in the pool which are a bit more predictable, but clearly these players are kind of okay with the chaos. Mihai has gone for the Wu, which would make me think he'll play more of the land pressure with the man-at-arm bonuses and the infantry bonuses. It's a good civ to combine water and land. And then Italians is similar, but Italians don't have any infantry bonuses early. So Italians, I'd say the more typical long-term water civ. However, we just hopped out of a series where I was talking about how insanely strong the Traxxer Trebs were with the unique tech. And guys, Lu Xuan's with the unique tech is OP, okay? It is insanely strong. Unique tech that gives them additional projectiles. And then Lu Xuan is kind of like their Cannon Galleon replacement. Only it's way better against ships than Cannon Galleons and even Dramans are. So I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but if the game goes on for a long time, keep that in mind. And Mihai with the quick wall. Can he do it again? Damn, that's impressive. He wants the dock. He gets the quick wall. That could be a dead vill. That right there. If that is me, my villager is dead, and I am very disappointed in myself. And so is my mother. But actually, that's not true. My mom would be proud. My dad would be disappointed. But okay, that's not even true. But my cousin would be disappointed. Maybe my uncle. But that's just quality stuff from Mihai. He's going to dock towards the middle. Sitaux, he will notice the middle dock. So if you dock the middle and you go for Navy here, you can't use that on the outside, which is part of what makes it so complicated. And same if you dock the outside, you can't send your Navy to the middle. So with the docks being on separate positions now, Sitaux will maybe be a bit greedier. And he may choose to just fish and play land pressure. Could always sneak a dock to the middle to try and pressure there. Now there's oysters on the outside and the inside. I'm gonna zoom out. Actually, before we do that, chat can guess how much gold do you think on the map is there in oyster. It's one of my favorite additions to the game. They added this, and you could get some gold using your fishing ships. And sometimes players will factor those into their build orders too. They won't even put villagers on gold. They'll put the fishing ships on the oysters. But it's a lot. So go ahead and guess, and then I'll show you. But I think long term, if this becomes a Navy battle, this could be a race for these little islands. Nobody's going to be transporting out here, taking this right now, but those trees can even become very valuable later on. Someone with their first message guessed 69 billion. And now their second message, oh, they've even gone above billion. They've gone 2 bazillion. You're going the wrong way, my friend. Let's see. I'm going to guess 18K. Oh my God. I'm so good. 17K. Let's go. All right. Yeah, 17.1K. That's a lot of gold. And that is like roughly a fifth, maybe? A fifth or fourth of the gold on the map. So it's a big deal, but it's very different way to take gold, and it's not going to be something the players will focus on until the late game. Barracks is coming up for Sitaux. Has been really active with his scout. And, ooh, the villager from Mihai is gone. And Sitau's like, huh? Where's the villager? Because you're looking for the second dock. The transport ship, which you start with, is going to build a forward barracks. Man, Mihai has come out with the strat so far this season. He looks so good against Dark. But of course, it's like Dark is maybe one of the weaker players in the group. So you don't necessarily know. Is that because of Mihai's level or is that because the opponent is underprepared? I thought Dark looked good earlier, but he was against Viper. Mihai knows about the back dock, so maybe the forward villager will also go for a forward dock. Mihai is now scouting, and he sees the barracks for the first time from Sitaux. So that's what he's missed. He's tried to do a lot himself, and he's missing the fact that Sitaux is also adding militia. Sitaux's on the front there. It's only 2 militia. Both players will hit feudal. Sitaux still has no clue about the sneaky barracks. So it'll be sneaky barracks, sneaky archery range. Sitaux will have his own archery range at home. And both players for the time being are going to have their fishing ships safe. I think it's kind of unfortunate for Sitaux that he didn't end up adding the 3rd militia and go for man-at-arms here. Because if he were to have... If he had the timings right on that, he could do some real damage to Mihai right now. Mihai's expecting some counter damage at some point, so he's just dropping the tower. But Sitaux does not see he's back here. All right, next person to subscribe. I'll rename this villager after you. It feels like this villager is going to be important. Has been important already for this game. I like how Mihai knows his opponent's civ and knows he needs to pre-wall. I think he's still expecting the barracks from home, but he is expecting the man-at-arms. And there it is. And actually, the fact that it's coming from the right side means that he doesn't expect the sneak. If it came from the left side, that would feel out of place, and he would have probably found it. Nice find there from Sitaux. He kills a villager. Forward villager who's now going to be named... Bomber, what do you want me to do? Am I gifting this? Is this the person you gifted the sub to, or am I naming it after you? Thank you, Bomber. Either way, we'll get to it. Appreciate it. But yeah, that villager's building the blacksmith on the back. And now we have a dock in the middle from Sitaux to pressure the fish. I think the idea for Mihai is really good, but it's taking a lot of time to pay off. I'll wait till Bomber says what he wants to do. What his demands are. Thank you for the gifted sub. There's the dock from Mihai. Tower now from Sitaux. Still does not know about the range, but he never saw a range here. If you don't have a range here at this point, you've got to know something weird is happening. Also added a fire ship here too, just in case there's a sneak dock. It feels like Sitaux has done a really nice job adapting to this situation. All right, I'm naming this Another Retired Vil after the person who received the gifted sub. Okay, Another Retired Vil. That's actually... That's a great name. Oh, it's Another Retired Gamer. Another Retired Gamer. All right, there he goes. He's not retired, though. Nice micro there from Sitaux. This is the food income that becomes really valuable in the mid-game on this map that other maps don't have. The mills on the shorefish and the mills on the berries. Micro from Sitaux is next-level stuff. Where are the archers going for Mihai? What happened there? I just look back... And there's archers underneath Sitaux's town center there. Well, Sitaux is going to be completely fine with that. 2 of the archers went down. Feels like Mihai's been very distracted and desperate for damage. Sitaux was able to kill 3 eco this game. Maybe it was some of the pressure in the middle. Sitaux just seems to be firing on all cylinders to start off the series, guys. It really distracted Mihai at home. Has defended from the man-at-arms sneak. Is killing the fish. Is defending his own fish as well. Like, his fish are currently fully protected in the back. Beautiful play from Sitaux. 10 population lead. Less TC idle time. More resources collected. And he's got more navy. And he has similar amounts of land army. And here he comes with the counterattack. I think maybe you could dock on the outside. Maybe in the back if you're Mihai. Try and get some fishing ships out. But it's going to be tough. He wanted to snipe the fish. But he gets spotted there. And now the archers come into the wood line. And that tower isn't enough to protect. So another villager down for Mihai. Another villager will go down for Mihai. We'll get the repairs in the back. I'll tell you what, though. If Sitaux notices this. If Sitaux can notice this and pull back, that's really impressive. There's so much happening now. He's getting damage here. He's taking damage here, and he has to defend. Okay, Sitaux showing his human. Nice play from Mihai. He can move in towards the fish. Sitaux would love to build a tower here, but he already invested to the tower on the wood line. So much multitasking right now. Archers could still loop around into the back. Mihai is on stone, so he can build towers, which Sitaux cannot do. Sitaux is still walled. But Sitaux is going to lose his fishing ships in the back. And he added a lot of them too, guys. He's got 8 fishing ships, and he doesn't have any defense. Sitau's completely missed that. And now the tower from Mihai defends. The pressure from Mihai continues. Mihai's maybe bringing this back a little bit. Such a crazy game. I mean, imagine the nerves you'd feel knowing how important the game is and then having to play this map. Like this, it's crazy stakes, and it's one of the toughest maps in the entire pool, which is why we've seen so little of it. I think what Sitaux would have needed this game is another tower. The fact that he towered this woodline was awesome, but he really needed to think about another one. He's going to fish in the middle now because he's losing most of his fish on the outside. And Mihai kills the villagers on the shoreline, and Mihai just needs to park his army on this gold for now. Again, and maybe it's a case of trying to do a little bit too much. If he sits there on the gold, those villagers are all weak, but he's going to move away. I don't love that decision. But I love... Oh, this is why he's bringing the army, because he's just towered the woodline for Sitaux. Damn. When are we going to see Castle Age? Typically, it's like, all right, one player's going to go to Castle Age, the other guy's going to go to Castle Age, and I can break down the game, but this is just absolute chaos. Look at the economy for Sitaux. This is the winning economy right now. It does not look very good. The skirms, man-at-arms come this way for Mihai. Sitaux is adding scouts. Here's Mihai's economy. He's placing lumber camps on crappy wood lines. We've got 20 villagers on the same wood line for Sitaux, but he does still have the skirms. He is being patient and adding the scouts. Gold is still able to be mined, and he still has the fishing economy in the middle. Do you guys wish more games were like this? Or are these games even too much for you? I really struggle to know what the audience thinks about games like this. I think people love, like, the arena games where you have the crazy aggression versus the crazy defense. But this is just full adaptation. It's really hard to break down. I think in these games, you really need a market to balance your resources. But we are 22 minutes into this game. No one even has 100 food in the bank. So extremely rare. It seems like most people like it. At least most of the people chatting like it. You're not going to fall asleep with this. I know you guys fall asleep to my videos all the time. Not with this. If you fall asleep to this game, that's a you problem, not a me problem. All right? I love what the scouts can do here. It's an army that's mainly skirmishers for Mihai. Actually, that's not true. He's got 4 skirms. He's got 2 man-at-arms, but it's only 6 archers. And the scouts are going to have bloodlines. The scouts will have armor. There's still the skirms to back it up. Sitau's archers on the back have gotten great value, sniping 2 more villagers there, still camping and delaying the woodline. And maybe Sitau's been able to balance out the eco. I know it's been messy, but wait a second. Does he know that army's gone? Mihai's just going to leave. Wow, that's funny. So I think what you would normally do is you would now go forward and you would go to Mihai's base, but there's nothing to stop Mihai from coming back. Mihai's just going to come right back. So Sitau's like, well, can't do anything about that. Let's just leave. And now Mihai's running right to the gold. It's still good for Sitaux, but he still needs a tower on the gold. And there goes Mihai. And Sitau's like, what the hell? And Sitau's coming back home to clear it. Wow. That's funny. I think Sitau's realized he needs the tower, though. He's on stone. He's thinking about it, but the army that he did not expect to be here any longer is back. All the scouts have to come back home. He's got 13 fishing ships, Sitaux. He's got a massive fishing eco, including some fishing ships on the backside. So it's probably the right play to come home and clear this up. Because if you don't take more damage against this army, you probably have the lead. Mihai will be happy to see the scouts are here, though. This is an army he expects to lose at this point. Be hilarious if he tries to bring the transport back in, but yeah, if these scouts went to his base, he actually would have had very big problems. He had nothing at home. And Sitau's got full upgrades now. I think the only thing you could do if you're Mihai is put some archers inside of that tower, maybe. I guess you have the fire galleys here, too, to maybe help. Yeah, that's another option. The fire galleys are a nice addition. He's just giving himself time. Right? Like, this army should always die. That's why Sitau's taking the fight, because he's just so desperate to kill it, but... Man, if Mihai wins this game, it's honestly down to the creativity of the last 2 to 3 minutes. Because Sitaux is the better economy. Sitaux has done a better job this game at balancing that and getting some damage done. But at least Mihai hasn't been raided by the light cav yet. Sitaux has 13 fishing ships with the Italians. He's got the middle area locked down. He's still able to defend the water on the outside. At the end of the day, this is a water map. The water is really valuable. We've got a second town center for Sitaux and a third town center for Sitaux. The barracks on the front will produce some Jean swordsmen, but there's a lot of town centers around to keep the villagers safe, and there goes Sitaux now. Still defending in the south, still is the fish in the middle. Mihai has very little here. Sitau's eco is going to explode from here. 20 eco lead and 3 town centers against 1. And now the light cav are coming into the eco. You just don't want to be defending with Jean Swordsman if you're Mihai. But you kind of have to, right? Like, you can't... Your base is wide open. You can't defend with town centers. You don't have the resources for it. And if you try and attack on the front, there's already knights waiting. Really impressed with Sitaux. My favorite thing about this is that Sitaux didn't scout everything, and he knew, based on what he didn't see, what would be coming, right? Like, he understood. He added the fire galley before he even knew about this dock. He walled up and built the tower before he even knew about the range. He just knew, because he didn't see it on the front, that there had to be something. And that's excellent game sense, which tells me he's really locked in training. I think otherwise, you don't have enough information. This isn't a map that's played in other tournaments. All the time, anyways. It has been played before, of course, but... I know Sitaux probably tried to qualify for that for LY Cup, which is, I think, where it was initially seen, at least in an S tier. But looking like game 1's going to go to Sitaux right now. Yeah, Sitau's economy is exploding in a good way, and Mihai's economy is exploding in a bad way. I just don't know if I think his time window to win this game was probably with the Jean Swordsman. And now he's got knights to deal with. The knights will dive underneath the tower and the wood line, which is honestly pretty suspect anyways. Sitaux still has an army around for the Jean Swordsman here. Sitaux sees the monk and backs away over here. Mihai... Is he... Wait. You know what? Respect. Because if you drop town centers now, you're dead. If you drop a castle on his face and it goes up, you might actually have a chance. I think that's what this is. It's a 7-villager castle that may be spotted. But he's going to try something here, guys. Yeah, does anyone know if the 06 in Mihai's name is his birth year? I know we've got quite a few players that will have a birth year that will make my viewers disgusted. I know he's younger, but yeah, he calls the GG. He calls the GG. He's just losing everywhere. He's too far behind. He doesn't have the stone for the castle. And if he were to bring in these villagers to build the castle, it would get denied anyways. That's just a great game from Sitaux. Again, from my perspective, there is no way that Sitaux has not encountered this before in some type of training session, because the opening from Mihai was meant to create chaos, and Sitaux just made it look like it was no problem to defend. Apparently, Mihai was born in 2003. Okay. But still, born in 2003 still will make some people barf, because that means he was born after the game was made. But yeah, he's a younger player, not born in 2006. And yeah, Sitaux takes game number 1. I think when you go for a play like that, forward barracks, forward archer range, it always comes at the risk that your economy is going to be exposed. And that was the issue for Mihai the entire game. He barely had any army at home in feudal, and Sitaux just kind of picked him apart. I think the big thing that Mihai missed out on was protecting his own fish. He didn't realize that Sitaux had docked the middle, and Sitaux pretty much won the middle with very little investment, and then was able to immediately fish boom behind it. GG. All right, so it's a play all three. You always play every single map. It would be Mihai's choice because he lost the first game. And game number 2 is actually going to be on African River. African River is the home map for Sitaux, so it's a little risky in that way, but maybe there's some selection process in his mind with the civs. He wasn't sure maybe on where Mongols was going to be played, and he wanted to find out. And he finds out now. Chat is telling me either not to call them old or is agreeing that they're old right now. But Mihai, he's going to want the wins. Live standings right now after 4 games played is both players have 4 wins. Sitaux got 2 wins in the first rounds, and then he got the 1 win so far in this series. So Group D's looked very interesting. Could potentially see Sitaux go top of the group if he can pull a couple more wins here. So you've got the water in the circle around the outside. I call them bubbles of water. I probably need to come up with a different way of saying it. You've got these little like ponds connected in the rivers, I guess. That's where all the deep fish are. The fish is extremely valuable here, but it's also, you're so close on land. Yeah, probably pools of water. Yeah, pools of water is the way to say it. It's just tough. A lot of maps that have water, you have a lot of space in between, so you can't immediately get pressure in on land as well. But the wood lines are exposed, the stones and golds are exposed. Sitaux just pushing in the ostrich here. Mihai just scouting around, maybe looking for the wood line. I could definitely see the Korean player wanting to tower. And if he wants to tower, it almost feels like he's looking for where the wood line is. He hasn't seen it yet. Sitaux was up against some heavy pressure when he played against Dragonstar here. He actually was able to run away with 10 vills. All his wood lines were denied. And he brought like 12 vills down here. It saved the game for him. But that was Dragonstar. I think Dragonstar's Civ was very different than this. I don't think Koreans have any early bonuses to get excited about. Maybe now Mihai is looking for the dock position for Sitaux, but I like the build for Sitaux. I also think you could maybe try a fast castle with Mongols. He's got almost all of his ostrich. You only have 1 rhino, though. But you also have the shorefish there. I think fast castle's also just very risky if you feel like you are the better player, and Sitaux was able to outplay Mihai in the first game, so maybe not worth the risk. But he will go for the barracks. Wow, okay. So this happened to Sitaux. He got drushed. There were militia everywhere, and it made life very chaotic. And so I was saying it when I watched Dragonstar do the strat. It's like, if better players use Dragonstar's strat, maybe that becomes the only way to play the map. And woodline here could end up being exposed. You need the ostrich, you need the zebra, you need the fishing eco. I think that's what Sitaux will look for, because there's always the dock villager there. And then the fishing ships are always on this walkable terrain. But downside for Sitaux is he doesn't know where the dock is because he's been pushing in his hunt. There's the barracks. I assumed he was going to go for the militia. But he's idling. Wow, that's a crazy uptime. So this is just super fast man-at-arms. 16 villagers, no dock man-at-arms. All right, I'm going to try and calculate this. You've got 200 food on the shorefish. You've got roughly 500 to 600 food on the water buffalo. You have 400 food from the rhino. That's a lot of food. So that means he can get double bit axe. That means he can get man-at-arms. That means he can probably make the militia. I think the archer follow-up's a little bit questionable. And obviously, if he doesn't kill quickly, the opponent's going to have fishing eco. So this is rare. Sitaux still doesn't know where the dock is. You check the north. When you check the north and you don't find one, you will know that there will be a dock down in this area. But now at this point, I don't know if that's what you want to do with your rush. And Mihai might have spotted that. Mihai's just never expecting this feudal age time. This feudal age time is insane. Also, the wall is insane. I think there's still a hole there. The fact that he saw that and ran out there and plugged the gap is pretty nuts. I'm going to make it a personal challenge to not say the word crazy for this cast. Just this game, okay? Let's see if I can do it. I'll train myself to say other words. What I should really do is I should put some gifted subs on it. But yeah, the Sitaux is up. An insane feudal age time, and Mihai was never expecting it to be this quickly. Mihai wanted that gold for fire galleys. And the man-at-arms are now lurking around. The wood line's walled in. Archer range is on the way. Arson is on the way too. So the man-at-arms will eat through the house a little bit faster. Just, I really feel like a water follow-up could maybe be the strongest play here. But when you already haven't docked, I guess he'll do it now. It feels extremely uncomfortable to do so, to not have any economic benefit. Still attacking the house. House is slowly going down. Mihai will need another repairville. With 2 repairvilles, he's probably fine. He'll probably bring a spearman out to hope to snipe that scout. And he'll want to make an archer. Over here, Mihai with some good work. Delaying Sitau's scout. So he knows Sitaux doesn't have the dock up yet. Or sorry, delaying Sitau's dock with his scout. It's really good work, though, for Mihai. That's really good work. He kept going back. He gets the villager. Well played. And he's still defending. He's on gold as well, and that's walled in. He'll have skirmishers here for the archer, and he'll have the tower. I really like Mihai's position right now. Sitaux is just factoring this in. He's feeling like he could just kill quickly, and that the fish wouldn't even be a factor. But he hasn't killed the villagers. In fact, he's lost one. And he already has a fire galley coming this way, where Sitaux is going to fish? Oh, man, I don't like that. Looney Bob has gifted a sub to Crazy. Oh, my God. Thank you, Looney. But also, that doesn't count. Come on. That doesn't count. I'm supposed to thank people for gifting subs. It doesn't count. That's cheating. I was doing perfectly fine. No, it doesn't count. That's their name, okay? I wasn't describing the situation. Doesn't count. Doesn't count. Doesn't count. All right, I will gift a sub for every time I say crazy from here on out in this game. All right? I will not be tricked, though. All right? Gift subs to actual chatters. That person has never heard of Age of Empires. They're probably like they're probably watching Minecraft or something. All right, we put some money on the line. This is a serious bet now. Sitaux does end up... what happened to the fire galley there for Mihai? The fire galley goes back. Sitaux does end up having the fishing ship and more fire galleys on the way. There is a detail on this map that I think players should focus on, and it's the outside hunts. There's a lot of hunt out there, which if Sitaux prepped for this, he could maybe be out there, place a mill on the berries, and take the hunt nearby. We've only had 2 deaths in this game, which is pretty nuts, pretty ridiculous, pretty insane. And there's a lot of army from Sitaux. So Sitaux, he will bring his army over this way, look for the villager, which is still around the dock. She's going to go down. Scout will... Oh, no, she doesn't die immediately, and the scout goes down. She will die. Koreans can't make demos, so unfortunately Mihai can't surprise with a demo there. And honestly, very close game. Sitaux will take down the fire, which feels important because Mihai has the fish and he doesn't. And Mihai's struggling. Like, that's another fire that's just going to be tossed away here. A little uncharacteristic for Mihai. It didn't feel like he had anything else that was happening at the moment. And now he overextends here as well. He runs right into the range units. He's got better blacksmith upgrades, but he just isn't able to control his units right now. Again, there's a lot of things happening. He's docking in the north. I'd like to see him with 2 villagers on stone to think about a tower on the gold. If you tower your gold, then everything's protected with a tower. The goal here is to get to Castle Age where the guard tower upgrade's free. T90, have you ever heard of Jay-Z's cousin named C-R-A-Z? No. Nice try. I have not heard of Jay-Z's cousin. That's pretty wild, though. Never heard about that guy. Interesting spelling on the name. Nice try, though. I'm looking at both chats, and YouTube and Twitch are all colluding right now to try and get me to say it. It's not happening, right? It's not happening. Thank you, Anonymous, for the gifted sub to a name I will not read. Thank you, Forest Glory, for the 9 months. 4 farms for Sitaux. He's got a lot on the berries. He's added fishing eco behind this. Obviously had the Mongol hunt earlier. Army's still running around. Does feel like Mihai's doing a lot of chasing right now. He's doing a lot of sitting back. And so, I just feel like he struggled to justify any counterattacks. But I feel like this is a good civilization to maybe do so. Like, he never saw the tower here. If he sees the tower from Sitaux, he can still disrupt the woodline. This is still very doable for him. He needs to stop chasing this army. When you have 2 defensive towers, you need to move forward, and here he is. He sees the tower, so he'll move along, but even could get to the berries here. Sitaux does not have an answer for that number of skirmishers unless he produces out of the stable. He'll have 1 scout. You commit to 1 scout, you're probably committing to more. Nice counterattack. Mihai's tower pays off. And Mihai will see the stable now. And he sees the market, so he'll actually convince himself that Sitaux has already clicked up. The score's still pretty close. Fish from Mihai positioned to the north. 8 to 7 KD. What is color 1790? You're asking me... Color 7 is gray. What? Grazy doesn't count. Gray. Nice try, but come on, man. Very creative, though. What is the top song by CeeLo Green? Nope, not saying it. Nice snipe there from Sitaux. Oh, no, he gets the snipe. Well played. And now both players on the way to Castle Age. Wow. I mean, honestly, there's not a lot in it. I'm still waiting to see what the compositions are going to be. There's bigger questions on the Koreans because the Koreans can play Turtle Ship now, which the Mongols can't. The Koreans can also play Fire Lancer, and we see the barracks, so there's our answer. This is a very close game. And I was a little unsure on the build order from Mihai, from Sitaux. But I feel like he's done a great job to control the game. Even though he didn't kill many fishing ships, his resources have always looked good. And there it is from Mihai now to stone. But I think what Koreans are going to want is some forward towers. You have the defensive towers defending almost everything. Fire Lancer, Siege, Tower Push in this area could be incredibly strong. Sitaux also on stone somewhere. Where is he on stone? It says he has 2 on stone. They might just be walking back and forth from a stone. Not really sure where it is. But he might just be getting enough stone for the second TC. Fires come in. I heard a demo. I think Sitaux landed a demo. That's the weakness for Koreans. They can't do the same. Army count 17 to 17. Eco count is 43, soon to be 41. This is one of the closest games we've had today. And also the live standings, these players are both at 3 wins right now. This is in a group that has Viper. This is in a group that has Dark. We've got players here. Sitaux is diving in. He's a wild man. He dives in underneath the tower before he has any upgrades, and he snipes a couple villagers here. I guess this is because of the reaction on this side. 2 knights, though. The 2 knights feels like a promising engagement until you see the Fire Lancers. The Fire Lancers are going to be a pain. I was just testing to see if you guys were paying attention. I wasn't actually ever going to say it there, all right? I think if you go Fire Lancer and Tower, Sitaux has big problems. And here come the towers. It's so difficult for Sitaux to do damage because of the free guard tower upgrade. And then to protect himself because of the Fire Lancers. You can't go Cav Archer easily because the opponent has a lot of skirms. You can't go Knights easily because of the Fire Lancer. But Mihai is doing a pretty rough job of protecting his villagers right now. If the villagers were protected, he'd be fine. But Sitaux is going to deny the tower. I think the game plan is there. Like, the game plan is absolutely there for Mihai. Luckily, he has a couple more villagers behind. He's still chasing down some units over here. These villagers will complete the tower. But both economies have seen better days. Farming eco and fishing eco is brutal for both. I guess there is no fishing eco anymore for Mihai. And look, Sitaux will pull the fire lancers back into the fire ships. So fire v fire. Oh, man, what a game. When you pick civs, you usually pick civs based on early bonuses, and then it's early castle age bonuses. On a map like this, you're not going to pick someone if they have a good imperial age, for example. And Mongols just don't have anything to get excited about right now economically. You don't have the stone bonus the Koreans have. You didn't benefit from the guard tower bonus. Mongols start to have big bonuses kick in Imp. And we are a long way away from Imp. So I think it will be a tough task for Sitaux. But right now, he's just avoiding the fire lancers. He's just avoiding the towers. He's just running from them. And he dives in. And it's some great damage. I almost said it. Because this is some wild damage from Sitaux. I need to pick up a thesaurus after this stream. But he just killed 21 eco. Like, he will lose a couple of villagers over here. But Mihai just didn't chase that at all. The army's actually going to get away. But now Sitaux still has an army problem at home. I really wish I wouldn't have made this bet. Tower's going up. You can research guard tower as the Mongols, but it feels like a pretty expensive upgrade when your eco is this inefficient. University he can't afford right now. Guard tower costs food and wood, I think, which is just really tough to get to. But regular towers is maybe okay. Monk converts one lancer. That could be okay. We got monks on both sides. Here Sitaux garrisons his tower. Here Sitaux is attacking Mihai. Guys, this is really difficult to break down for you right now. If Mihai didn't lose those villagers, I think Mihai's ahead in this game, but his eco is not great. It's just, does Sitaux have an answer to the Fire Lancer? Find the answer to the Lancer. The tower's alright, but a lot of the units are underneath it. But many of the units are weak. Sitaux manages to heal up a couple units back here, force it away. Another counterattack from Sitaux. Man, it's just horrible to be in this economy. I think that this is what a lot of people want to do. Escape the poor economy, go somewhere else. And that's what Sitaux did in the other game. That's new meta for this map. Just run away. Deletes the knight there. If he had a sneak TC in the back, that'd be the only eco that is actually working right now. I think Mihai can do two things which he hasn't considered yet. Option one, and most importantly, is forward castle. As for where you place it, I'm not entirely sure, but he's clearly saving up for it. Option two, turtle ships. I guess you can't do turtle ships on the outside, but you could consider a turtle ships from the middle. It would fully pressure the town center. But man, he doesn't know about the siege workshop. There's a mangonel on the way. If he tries to drop a castle not knowing there's siege, he could drop it right against the houses, and this could get denied. Thank you, Wiggity. Thank you for the Prime sub. Somebody donated $3 and says something about crayfish. He says crayfish minus the fish. Crayfish C minus the fish. Thank you very much. Thank you for the $3. There's the castle. Mangonel's on the way. His army's going away. He thinks this castle will go up. It could just be a tower first. This doesn't have to happen. Will it go up? I think it will go up. Yeah, Sitaux knows it. Castle's fine. That's a crazy cat. Ah, no! No, damn it! Screw you guys. Okay, you got me. That's a crazy castle. That's a good castle, though. Okay? That's a good castle. Genuinely. Also, good conversion. Sitaux's forced to delete there. I mean, war wagons feel like a good unit as well. All the military units for Mihai that he wants to spam out of the barracks and the castle would be wood and gold units. He doesn't have the food eco. He has everything else. castle from Sitaux now. If Sitaux can get Mangudai kill Fire Lancer pretty easily. At least long term. Elite Skirm, it gets more questionable. War Wagons, it gets a little bit more questionable. But more counter damage here from Sitaux. The town center for Sitaux in the south has been huge. I think he went down here with 4 villagers. He's about to have 7 down there. And it's never an area that Mihai's going to be looking for. It's so funny. Mihai will always look back here because that's where players should naturally go. But for whatever reason, Sitaux always ends up in the south. He did the same against Dragonstar. It was a similar spawn there. I think you might just want to delete your fire ships at a certain point if you're Sitaux, because you have fishing eco and you do not want to be giving up fire ships, leaving your fishing ships exposed. Sitaux will lose his starting town center. And Sitau's got more Mongol monks than I think I've ever seen in one game. They look cool, but they don't really have the bonuses. 7 monks just lurking around waiting. Mangudai are in production out of the castle. Mihai's on 2 town centers. He's still pretty far behind economically. He's going to drop the 3rd. And he will clear up some of the Lancers, but the difference between the 2 of them has just been the eco. Okay, demo. Big demo could come in. Big demo could come in. Mihai has to leave. What a difference it makes, though, right? When you know your opponent has demos, it completely changes how you can maneuver around a map like this. Oh, demo, run. Okay, just kidding. Demo's going to run away. But yeah, now you can't go back. Right? You can't ever go back because the demos are always going to be lurking. I'm surprised we haven't seen a single War Wagon from Mihai. It just feels like a great unit to make in these scenarios. You'll actually end up finding this town center now. But there's not too much he can do about it because he can't cross the river easily. If he wants to go home, the demo's just lurking for him. And does he see it? Does he see it? He sees it. And Sitaux is still microing it. And Sitaux could still take it home. He could take it home and repair it. Let's go. That's awesome. That's awesome. Both players still missing good eco upgrades. Bill count's still really healthy for Sitaux. And boom! The demo lands. I don't know, guys. It feels like, well, Sitaux might overextend, but this kind of feels like Sitau's eco it's been looking good for some time. He will come out here for a second TC. I don't know. I say that. How good can his economy actually be? He lost the starting town center. He's about to run out of gold here. I guess he will be on 3 again. Mihai's got 1, 2, 3. Lots of farming eco. He's adding a 4th. He's cut the villager deficit to 10. And he's Koreans with cheap units. So, I don't know. Feels like a close game. I think Imp in this game, water comes back into play big time. Like, which civilization gets the better navy? Koreans have the warship discount. So, imagine if you had cannon galleons and towers with Koreans all around this map. So, I think it's kind of on the Mongols to kill quickly. The Mongols will probably want to play land. We could see some heavy demo, though. Mongols actually have good navy, to be honest. It's just not a common play for them. Still no war wagons for Mihai. Still lots of economy. I'm hearing a conversion somewhere. I have no clue where that was. I'm sorry, because this game is so freaking random. Resources collected is close. 66 villagers for Mihai now against the 73 from Sitaux, so he's catching up. Really fun game. Would still love to see Elite Skirmisher for Mihai. He's had these skirms for so long. It's mainly Mangudai for Sitaux around the map, so just a couple Elite skirms around your base would be helpful. I think this hill's pretty valuable. It's a lot of stone and gold that he could continuously take and deny. Mangudai will hope for raids, but everywhere he looks, there's a town center and there's a tower for Mihai. Mihai has never expanded to the outside, though. So none of this stone, none of this gold is locked down. He also doesn't have docks. So he has to respect the occasional demo. So he could fix that. But he has to keep in mind, The outside resources are important. Nice conversions from Sitaux. Look how many Fire Lancers he converts. He converts 3 Fire Lancers. He will lose the Monks, but I'm okay with that. The Monks already brought in some relics. Micring down the Fire Lancers. Still has Mangadai around the back. Still has Fire Ships around the back as well. And Mihai just really needs Elite Skirm right now. Or War Wagons. War Wagons should be good against the Mangadai as well, but this is the first time he's making them. I'm starting to see Sitaux get a bit of a groove going here. This hasn't been one of those games where you could micro this army, micro that army, and macro. It's not that consistent flow. It's just taking some time. But now he's got mobile units. He'll micro this, and then he spams villagers elsewhere. It's exactly where a player like Sitaux is going to want to be. His economy upgrades have seen better days, but that's the same for Mihai, so... I swear, it still really bothers me we don't have Elite Skirmisher. But I guess the Skirmishers have enough Blacksmith upgrades, and there's Fire Lancers there where it's still probably okay. Here's Sitaux snagging some villager kills again. But he'll lose some Mangadai in the process. And here's Sitaux will chase this down, and he'll clear this up. Still Mangadai up here, being chased by wagons. Still Fire Ships there. 32 on food against 29. What a game. These towers... are so valuable for Mihai. This position is so valuable. Think if he loses this position, he might end up losing the game. I'm just looking around, seeing the amount of gold. There's not a lot of gold and stone down here. There's some, not a lot. So this is where both players will benefit with the stone and gold. Sitau's still running around. Mihai is on the way to Imp, and we have villagers coming from Sitaux to drop a castle on Mihai. Mihai has a real army problem right now. And Sitaux is coming forward. He's also ramming down the towers. He would drop a castle here. If this castle goes up, the wood line's denied, the stone's denied, the relics might be taken. There's currently no stone mining for Mihai, which he could get. He'll start to outpost the north and look for that. There's always a stone and gold in each corner. But this will box him out from the stone. I also think he'll be running out of gold. I think this is maybe the only gold he has. Ooh, War Wagons getting to the back, though. That's 4 War Wagons that Sitaux has not realized. As Sitaux completes his castle, Sitaux, I think, maybe notices it because there's Mangadai on the way home, but now he'll take losses. Man, what a game. Remember, with this forward castle, Mihai can make trebs. And if he makes trebs, he could just take down all of Sitau's base. I think this is looking good for Mihai. This is not the Imperial Age TC. So if that TC goes down, it's still okay for Mihai. He's running to the north now, finding more gold and finding more stone. I agree with what my chat is saying about this game. It's been such a fun game. But it's all in Castle Age for Sitaux, and Imperial Age can make such a big difference in these scenarios. What a recovery from Mihai. But he got to 4 TCs. And he was keeping Sitaux busy. And I mean, he lost 41 eco this game, and he still has been able to recover the economy. Impressive. Sitau's not going to believe it when he sees him. It's ridiculous that Mihai's been able to get there. He's got 10 wagons. You get the armor upgrades for free on the ranged soldiers. So the armor's in on the wagons. They're even tankier. First Treb is on the way. Sitaux needed Imp. And he'd spent a lot of his gold on Siege. Maybe just ran out of it and I miscalculated. I mean, he does not have the resources for Imperial Age at all. And I'm worried about what happens when he gets trebbed here. Because there's nothing he can really do against these trebs. So, especially if Mihai walls them in. Wow. Smart. Mihai will quickly drop a town center in the north to protect that area. And he's on the stone. War wagons are still running around. Sitaux 0 on gold right now. He does have available gold. He just can't get the villagers to gold because there's too much going on right now. Free keep upgrade is huge. That'll help every single tower. And the war wagons are going to get sniped. Sorry, the mangonels are going to get sniped by the wagons, and the wagons can just chase down the mangadai. Up here as well, Mihai noticing. Mihai's noticing every attack. There's attacks in 3 or 4 different areas, and he's noticing it all. Well, Sitaux will try and scramble into Elite Skirmisher now, which is probably the only thing he can try. He'll probably aim to get a conversion here and steal the relics, but it's just not looking good for him to be able to survive if he loses this area of his base. There's a lot of buildings and houses here. I think also Mihai can just full switch over this way. Look at the micro. Pulls the wagon that's being converted back. And now Sitaux is going to do the only thing he knows. More insanity. I mean, he knows he's behind. And he's building another castle. And Mihai actually doesn't see it. You know what? You guys have been good to me. That's a crazy castle. Your opponent's an imp. They have 20 wagons here. Or 12 wagons. And you decide to castle drop anyways. And Mihai's like, huh? And Mihai sees it, and now Mihai has to leave. It was too late. Keep track, guys, because I am going to gift these subs. I really need to know. I'm seeing villagers run this direction from Sitaux, which I imagine is a misclick. He lost his castle. There's war wagons everywhere. He's on the way to Imp. He's building archer ranges in the back to go for skirms. Honestly, I think from Mihai's position, if he just focuses on these castles and then plans around going navy, he's likely going to win this game from here. He's got wagons down here in the south, full harassing this eco. He's got wagons over here harassing this eco. He's getting elite war wagon. I really thought, because of game number 1, that when this got, well, you know, a little crazy, that maybe Mihai was going to struggle, because I do see Sitaux as a player who's better in chaotic situations. But what a great recovery from Mihai. He is legit. The Koreans don't have any Treb range bonuses, no. So it's just 16 range. But 16 range on this map looks a lot further because of how condensed the map is, I think. Our Mongol skirmishers do get okay upgrades on them, I guess. But against Elite War Wagon, or excuse me, the gold-plated wagon? That's what they should call it. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. And even if it is enough, the economy is going to be so good for Mihai that he could just switch into Navy. One more castle remaining for Sitaux. Trebs are coming already for it. And there's just so many war wagons around the map right now. War wagons were the key. Right when he started to make war wagons, Sitaux had some big problems. A couple panic towers up here from Mihai. But he'll complete it. So he's pretty much unraidable here. Losing those vills is completely fine. It is maybe the last stand for Sitaux is just going full skirm. That's a lot of skirms. He's going to have 40 of them. Yeah, I think if Mihai... I'm trying to think about what would happen if games are 200 pop versus 200 pop on this map. And I think ships that get shipwright and galleon and elite cannon galleon and heavy demo, like, I think it becomes really strong. Imagine heavy demo right now for Sitaux. Like, he could in theory hit the wagons when the wagons are out of position. And then I think Mihai would consider galleon. He would consider towers on the shoreline. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, Mihai's overbooming a little bit. He's got 152 vills. He's up against skirms that are upgraded now. He's dropping stables. So his plan is to go Hussar, which is one of the worst units for the Koreans, but it's probably one of the best units against the skirmishers here. At least it's still a unit that doesn't cost gold. And he has the food eco. He can reclaim these relics. He's taking down that castle. He'll take this stone and gold. He can also take the relics from Sitaux. Yeah, here comes Sitaux with a demo. I think this is a state of the game where you can... It's acceptable to make Hussars with Koreans. And I think War Wagons just need a little bit of a meat shield. A demo kind of wandering around without anything to go for. Here, the dock is going to be taken down. And here, the castle for Mihai is going to complete. Relics are gone for Sitaux and no gold. Again, still does actually have this gold, but he doesn't notice it. And even if he has the gold, he still just doesn't have a very good economy right now. And there's just so many fortifications for Mihai. 4 castles, sorry. The potential for towers everywhere. The potential for Yupseong as well for the extra tower range. Sitau's still going to fight it out here. T90 against Hera. Who will win? Are you asking me who will beat Hera? Or are you saying if I were to play Hera, who would win? Are you saying T90, comma, who can beat Hera this season? Or who would win if you played Hera? I mean, I played Hera in a tournament once and I got 1 win. And I maintain that I would have won the game had he not done this, but he did delete his TC in Dark Age. Which really pisses me off. Because I had a perfect build. But he just had to delete his TC, you know? I remember being so happy after I got the win, and then everyone told me, oh, he deleted his TC. I was like, are you kidding me, dude? Depressing. Sitau's still fighting here. Mihai will drop the castle. To answer the question on who can beat Hera in TTL, I think Leary still has the talent to be able to do it. Maybe, I think Sebastian. It really just comes down to the level of prep and who shows up on the day. Leary, I think there's a recent confidence issue for him. So even while I think talent-wise he's there, I think maybe he's not full-time AoE. And, you know, there's been some issues for him in some finals. So I don't know. It feels like maybe it's got to be somebody new to challenge, you know? I really like Sebastian. Last season, Sebastian lost to Hera 3-2 in the playoffs, so. But yeah, all these players in Platinum League I played. There's some I've gotten some wins off of. But beating in a tournament, it's a completely different situation. These guys are an insane level. And yeah, Mihai, what a recovery, man. Guys, these wagons got ridiculous value. Ridiculous value. In fact, I don't know how many times I said crazy, so there we go. Just one more time. That way I can gift 5. It was a great comeback. It felt like the whole game, Sitaux had the lead, and Mihai wasn't really able to get a lot of counter damage, but it was just really messy, and eventually got to a game state where his 4 TCs were pumping, and he had the better units. I think Sitaux would have wanted to deny this castle. It's a really common issue for the Mongols on this type of map, where if your early Lancers and your early Knights don't do enough damage, you sometimes get a little stuck on what units to go for. It's a tough one for the Mongols in the mid game because the Koreans have the war wagons, they have the towers, they have such good skirms. In this game, we saw the Lancers as well. This feels like Mongols just have to somehow beat them to the punch. Sitaux tried with the Mangadai. He made a lot of Mangadai this game. Made 28, but it was just never enough. Also made 108 skirms. But yeah, 1-1. So nice recovery from Mihai. This was also on Sitau's home map. So considering he picks Sitau's home map after the game 1 loss, now he's going to his own home map. Maybe advantage for Mihai going into this one. 1.4 KD. Economy. Again, he was behind. He was like 18, 20 villagers behind, and he brought it back. I don't know how. Here we go. So live standings. This is a little bit bugged. So I guess I won't be able to show it. But live standings, we have Mihai at 4 wins. We have Sitaux at 3 wins. And also in the group, after their second rounds have completed, we have Vivi and Viper at 4 wins. So if Sitaux wins this, it will be 4-4-4-4. And then I forget what's going to be below them, but we'll have the top 4 players all tied in Group D. We have Khmer for Sitaux. The map is Mudflow. And then down here in the yellow, we've got Dravidians for Mihai, which immediately makes me think we either see the early barracks or maybe this little fishing ship build we've been seeing, guys, because Lewis started it. He went Japanese, he docked the starting TC area, and he added some fish. And then Hera followed up. He also did it with Japanese. So far the strategy's undefeated. And if Japanese were banned, which I'm guessing they were, might actually be able to show you if the draft was banned. Were Japanese banned? Yes. Okay, so Mihai banned the Japanese and he picked Dravidians first. Why does someone pick Dravidians first? Unless they have a really big plan. So I could be wrong, but it's kind of this new meta build forming here. You cannot farm on this terrain. You can also not farm... you can farm in the middle terrain, weirdly enough, but this is where the bigger wood lines are. And I've been seeing this theme. Players don't want to take the middle wood lines because they're exposed. And so that's what Sitaux will do, but players who don't take the middle wood lines in a longer game really struggle because you run out of these wood lines very quickly. T90, what do you think will be the most banned Civ in Titans League with the upcoming DLC? I think all the new DLC Civs are going to have some really strong openings. What's the civilization? Yes, there's the dock. What's the civilization that has the additional resources at the start? I don't have them memorized yet, but whichever Civ starts with the additional res, 25 of each resource, I think we could see a lot of early barracks. So I think that Civ will be kind of dangerous on some of these maps. I'm also kind of curious how a settlement would work, right? Like if you want early barracks here and then you built a settlement here, you could take gold and wood. Like here you could technically go like settlement, take wood and berries. So I think that Civ would probably be the Civ that's going to be the strongest, but I think that's the Tupi. I played with the new DLC. I've tested it a bit. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do any casts because Capture Age doesn't work. Settlements are annoying after a while. And it's not because they're new. It's because of the spacing. Like, you know, you build a settlement here, settlement here, settlement here. And then after a while, you just got like... I know you're supposed to use them as multi-use. But your base just gets freaking filled with settlements. It's very unique. They take up a lot of space. I'm not saying the settlements are fat. I'm just saying I like their personality, you know? All right, so Sitaux picks this Civ for the chaos. But with this build, like the fishing ships, you almost need to scout. You need to know what's happening. And we're far enough along now where I don't think anyone should be surprised. He sees it. So you then have to think, what do you do? How do you beat this? Because technically, Mihai has his town center to add eco, and then he also has his dock to add eco. But the fish trap investment and the fishing ship investment takes time to pay off. So I think you just go, you stick to the game plan. I think you go full scouts. Because Khmer, you pick them because you could farm all over the map. You just go full army. Now, he's going to gold, but I think he's going to gold because he sees these villagers here, and he wants to pressure this with archers. So I don't mind that. And then he probably archers into scouts. But, yeah. Third time I've seen this. First 2 times it was with the Japanese. Big Bomber, thanks again, man. Guys, it's been such a good day. It's been an amazing day. Thank you. The amount of follows we've had. Gifted subs. Primes coming in. You know it's a good day with high energy when YouTube is making fun of me as well. Thank you, YouTube. It's been all of like 5 YouTube streams in a row, and you guys have just joined in with the rest of the community. So I used to think YouTube was a bit different, a little bit more mature. Nope. Apparently, people are people. Thank you. We've had some really good games today. Really nice sets. Every set has been a little bit different. Right now, Sitaux brings the 2 villagers forward. I like the energy. You know you need to do something different against this build. And when the player docks, they're always later to the next stage. That is a perfect tower on the wood line. Lovely move from Sitaux. You also have archers coming from home. Mihai looking around, and he will not see the tower. He misses it. But he also didn't do a lot of searching either. He hasn't found the wood line. He hasn't looked at the front of the base to see if there's an archer range or a stable. Now, if that's only 2 villagers there, what you can do is you can immediately build a tower of your own. But if you run, there's going to be an army waiting for you. At least he can reposition here a little. Yeah, Sitaux needs to wall that up. Smart move. And Mihai does exactly what I said. Yeah, so 2 villagers versus 5. The 5 will always win. So it's awkward. You still could have some villagers go down because they'll go back to the lumber camp and switch trees, but I think that's probably the best play. But here's the thing. The more I think about this, like, obviously the fish traps can be good, right? He's on one of them right now. He still needs to wait for 100 wood for each one. But when you get your wood line pressured like this, it's extremely difficult to justify the fish traps. He's already thinking about another lumber camp out here. And what we saw with the Japanese here is we saw full feudal scouts with the food income. But you don't get bloodlines with Dravidians. So they're a good fishing civ. But like in normal circumstances, I think for the fish traps, Japanese are just far and away the best. A nice play here from Sitaux. He comes over here for another lumber camp. Here he's attacking the vills. He snipes the villager. Look at all the idle time for Mihai. He's got idols everywhere. Still doesn't have the fish traps he wants. But he's got the weirdest little army ever, and it might work. We've got spearmen, a scout, and 1 archer. This reminds me of a build order we used to see from some player who's retired like 10 years ago. He would go 2 spearmen, 1 archer, 1 skirmisher in Hun Wars. Bonus points if someone in chat can say that player's name. That confirms that you've been around a very long time. But yeah, this is messy. This continues on right where we left off in the previous game. Armies on both sides. And both players all over the place. I still think that Sitau's had the better opening here. And probably the best opening to punish the fish. Still looking, chat. Nobody's got it. It's a very specific name call. It's a very specific name call. I will give you a hint. The player I'm referencing is from Morocco. They would be late 30s at this point. They did play a little bit of the definitive edition. They maybe peaked at around like 2200. I still haven't seen anybody say it. It's very specific. I'll tell you if you want, but I'll still let people guess for now. Lovely opening from Sitaux. Lovely opening. Res collected is even. What I was expecting was a lot more of this. I was expecting a lot more of the farms. But you can just place them anywhere, which is the beauty. I think at this point, the game's a bit messy for Mihai, so even though Mihai can technically add the fishing ships and add the fish traps, it's not like he's sitting at 8 of them uncontested. And now that there's skirms in the mix, I would guess that maybe Sitaux is planning on a stable. And there's the stable now. This is what he wanted. He wanted early damage. Lots of farming eco. That's very hard to do on this map. And then the full scout spam with the archers to back it up. All right, the player I'm referring to is called Maya. Oh, and Stone Please got it. What's up, Stone Please? Let's go. Stone Please has been around a long time. He's also a beastly player himself these days. But yeah. Mahya. I think if you look my YouTube channel, you can find Viper vs. Maya somewhere. Everyone else would go like scouts and adapt in a Hun War, and he would go 2 spears, 1 archer, 1 skirmisher, and then adapt from there. So that was not a good fight for Sitaux. I think if Sitaux is a problem that I find very relatable. You feel like you need to do as much damage as possible. And sometimes you just need to be patient. I think with the way his civ is going to scale right now with the farming eco, you just needed to wait. Keeps that army alive with the scouts, and it's a different situation. I love this dock, though. You could go galleys and fires in the middle. This is where all the wood is. Also love this from Sitaux. He just can't help himself. He has to go forward. He has to play aggressive. And you love to see it. Should be a villager down for Mihai. Mihai has 2 farms, and he has 3 fish traps. So the food eco is not even going to be close to Sitau's. A nice damage control for Mihai, though. The skirms will chase. He still has the berries for now. He still has an army over here. We will have fire galleys from Sitaux. He is commerce, so he can hop in and out of the houses. And he sees this army, and he'll come back. This army's still running away. This is another reason why you pick the Khmer here. Because it's a messy game with a lot going on, and the houses can save you. Find a Mihai is missing a lot of critical information here. He doesn't know about the dock. I think that's really the biggest thing. Not knowing about the dock on this map can be brutal. And again, compared to the Japanese, Scouts is good, but you can't go full feudal Scouts because you lack bloodlines. So you need the early Scout surprise to do something. And oh no, this is so bad for Mihai. This could be awful in both fights. Here he could lose this fight. And then he also could lose this fight here as well because we have the skirms and the archers from Sitaux, the fire galley from Sitaux. This is perfect for Sitaux. Both engagements are great. The archers are now able to run up the hill. More armies needed for Mihai. And Mihai needs more army fast. But this is, again, at the time where he needs to fix that food eco. He has to place the farms around the mills. He can't do so on this side. He's sitting at 8 farms. Sitau's side, we've got 16 farms. More stables coming up. This is exactly where the Khmer want to be. Would feel awkward, but maybe it's worth making a demo from your own dock if you're going to end up losing some of these fights. Mihai brings everything back. He completes the armor upgrade, but so does Sitaux. And Sitaux has a few more range units, but he's fighting up the hill. Ooh. Yeah, Mihai, dude, you need to dock right now. There's a lot of fighting in the middle. You know your opponent has a dock. You need a dock. One demo can completely change this game. Long-term, galleys could be really valuable. These villagers are really exposed, and nobody will want to take the other woodlines. I think Sitaux needs bloodlines. Sitaux needs bloodlines. That's the difference between the scouts right now. I love how he snagged horse collar. Players are usually pretty resistant to getting that if they didn't get it right at the start of feudal, but that's a really good call because this game is not going to end anytime soon. And you are not going to Castle Age anytime soon either. Villager goes down for Mihai. 6-1 eco KD for Sitaux. 1,000 resource lead. And he can just run right in and take the fist traps. Yep. Just go full army against this. It's been a great approach from Sitaux. The early tower disrupted the early fish boom. The archer follow-up was great. And now you're too far gone with the fish boom. You can't stabilize it. You can't focus on it because you're behind. And Mihai's just got to play Dravidians on a very awkward open map, which is not where the Dravidians want to be. Another archer will get picked off. Sitaux, patient. Super smooth. This is where the Khmer eco just goes brrr. that's I probably could have said it differently, but you know what I mean. Khmer eco goes nuts right now. With that many farms. The villagers going forward. Thank you, chat. Please help me out. The tower on the wood line. Sitaux knows he has full control. This is where I would have loved to see a dock from Mihai. Imagine if he had a dock here. Yes, he's still behind an army, but Sitaux has to think twice about moving around the map. Mihai will build a defensive tower. His whole wood line's getting massacred. He can never chase this army because there's a demo. Here he has villagers that still can't take wood. His wood line is back here, right? It's with 3 villagers on it. He's housed at the moment. And I think Sitaux is going to get bloodlines in a second. It's either in queue or he's about to queue it because Sitaux is playing that good. There's no way Sitaux is not going to click bloodlines. To not click bloodlines here would be a pretty massive blunder. He still has the scout lead. And yeah, there's bloodlines. There's forging. And Mihai just can't recover. Is there anyone watching right now who's above the elo of 2K who can give me input? What do you think about Dravidian's first pick for this? I mean, clearly a lot of belief in the fish boom, but to me, it just... And now that you're seeing how Sitaux has played this, it just seems extremely risky. And I think with this fight, Sitaux is going to win 2-1, which will put the top 4 in Group D tied at 4 wins after 2 rounds. I don't see any way that Mihai can stabilize from this. Villagers are still exposed. 15-1 eco KD. I don't know where the demo is even. The demo's still over here. Okay, no one in my chat has responded. I was hoping maybe there would be a player in TTL who would give input, but they might not want to share their secrets. Yeah, combined Twitch chat and YouTube chat is probably like 3k elo. If you combine them all. But yeah, even if you're not 2k elo, maybe that was rude. I just feel like Sitaux, he was able to make this strategy look foolish, which I guess in many ways is good. Because the first 2 times I saw the builds, I felt like everyone was going to be building fishing ships. Maybe we're far enough into this, and Sitaux just fully recognized. But guys, all this flowed together perfectly. The early pressure on the wood line, combined with the archer opening, into the full spam of farms. Chimera are so good if you could do this. And Sitaux gets a 2-1 victory. Fun set.